All right, what is up? What is good? This video is more or less for myself, as like kind of a, I don't know, a reflection video. You know, sometimes you make these kind of vlogish videos so you can go back and look at it in years in the future and be like, oh yeah, oh yeah, that's what I looked like. You know, I got the beard and everything. So this is kind of one of these videos. It's always weird making these types of videos of like reflecting and talking about the past and like where you're at now and just like I don't know, like, you know, the work that you've been doing and everything. It's always really, I don't know, these videos are kind of just weird to do anyways. So yeah, that's what this video is going to be like, a look at back at the last decade. um the last 10 years has been pretty crazy of just, man, 2010, I'm pretty sure it was 2010, got out of high school. I started my first ever YouTube channel back in like 2008. So yeah, we're I've been making stuff, videos and everything for a long time, been doing YouTube for a long time. First channel back in 2008, before I really knew what YouTube was all about, before I knew what the power that it had, you know, everything that you can do on it. And this was before monetization and all that stuff was even a thing. It was just a platform or a website to create stuff and to put stuff on. Now it's turned into a business and everybody's trying to make a buck on it. You know, this is the reason why these videos are kind of weird, because you start to think of like where stuff has gone and some of the goods and the bads of that. But anyways, so yeah, I made the YouTube channel back in 2008. Went until, I don't know, roughly about 2010. Pretty much YouTube was a way for me just to put something on the internet. So then when I got into, you know, when you go into your high school years and it's like, okay, do you walk up to somebody and be like, yo, check this out what I did, or you just pop it up on a website and be like, check this out, or I can, you know, I'll here, go to such and such address link on the web and you can, you know, you can check out the video or whatever. So it was a lot of that stuff, you know, promoting and everything. Did all right with that, and then around so this is like 2010 going on forward. Around let's see here, roughly 2013, the music channel got shut down. I shut it down myself, and then I took a couple years off until roughly about 2015, I think it was. Yeah, 2014, basically end of 2014 going into 2015, I did my first ever like live stream on, it was Twitch. It was the early days of Twitch, pretty much around the first time when, you know, everybody could start streaming on it, because I think, if I remember right, I want to say Twitch started out where not everybody could stream on it. You had to be like in the, you know, the group of people or whatever. At least that's what I had heard that it was, or whatever. I don't know. So then I started looking at live streaming, roughly around 2015 and everything, and that was some crazy thing of just like, oh, I can just click a button, go live. I was doing it off the console, off the Xbox One at the time, the original Xbox One, and playing Battlefield Hardline, some, you know, one of the old Call of Duty group people in the team that I was a part of. They were like, I dare you to go live on Battlefield Hardline. You won't. I'm like, oh, watch me do it. So then I went on there and I started live streaming. I had a few viewers, had a few pretty fun games. Did my first ever live commentary, of course. I had the microphone on and everything. I actually used the Kinect camera, which I do believe I still have that around here somewhere. I think, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, used the Kinect. The first ever vlog I did for YouTube, using this was actually the funniest story of Warwolf on YouTube or Twitch or anything. My first ever vlog was literally me holding a damn Kinect camera in front of my face doing a live vlog, and literally recording. I think it was like 10 minutes a piece, or 5 minutes a piece of me doing about. I think it was about a 20-minute vlog. It's still available on YouTube, and 5 minutes a piece. Uploading them to it wasn't OneDrive, it was like Cloud Drive or something like that at the time. I think I might be remembering this a little off, but just uploading video after video after video, and then downloading them and putting them over to a little quad processor, a really bad crap top at the time. And just making videos off from that also, and having like a little easy cap starting off with that stuff, where everybody else had an Elgato. Just starting out, just doing it any which way I possibly could. The original Destiny 1 playthrough was literally me recording every 10 to 15 minutes of what had just happened. So just Xbox record that, Xbox record that, Xbox record that, and taking all that and just into a video, and going and doing the thing. So then when I finally got the original Elgato, I started doing a whole bunch of videos and everything, and I just remember thinking to myself, this is cool. I was not thinking about live streaming at that time. I was just totally focused on YouTube and everything. And then that's when the Need for Speed 2015 series came about. I do remember that was a big highlight. Was just doing a series just a little bit different than what was, because everybody was like, oh my god, look at these cars, and I know my total crap green screen skills are popping through right now. But anyways, so going through and just making a video where it's just me reacting. It's a first person cut scenes and everything, me just acting on top of the acting that's happening on the screen. That was a lot of fun. A lot of people enjoyed it. A couple of those videos got put on blogs, and that series kind of blew up. It blew up the biggest on the channel. And it was awesome just seeing everybody coming through, commenting, and being like, "Oh, this is really cool, way of doing this," and "Oh, nice car," and this and that stuff. And it's weird because I don't do anything with Need for Speed that often. It's like once every maybe 1 or 2 years I do something Need for Speed, and every time I do, you would think I would be just a YouTuber, streamer guy that does nothing but racing videos, because that's my biggest stuff. Anytime I do that, there's like this huge crowd that comes through and is like, oh, whoa, this person over here is doing something with racing games, which is awesome, which is a lot of fun. I get burnt out on racing. I've been doing it for so many years. I'm starting back on the PS1 with Need for Speed Hot Pursuit and stuff like that. It's like, I kind of like fighting games. I kind of like shooters even more than racing games nowadays. It used to be very different back then. Anyways, so let's see here. After 2010, also, like I said, the Call of Duty stuff, I jumped ahead a little bit with the 2015 to roll it back just a slight bit. So 2010 on was a lot of Call of Duty. I was running with a group of people, and it was a very big group. It was about, I think at the top of it, there was about over 40 plus of us in a clan, a little bit of a team. We never competed, nothing like that, just because nobody wanted to. Nobody wanted to get out there to compete, and I was like, well, we should. We could probably make some money. We're pretty good. And then it just became people trying to get power, and that power struggle that happens with teams, which is a big reason why I usually do not do anything with teams. It's a wonder. It's like 10 years later, and I'm finally now just barely doing like co-streaming stuff. You have to find the right people to do that stuff with. That's been one of the biggest lessons that I've learned. Teams almost always fall apart. even if there's money involved, there's always the infighting, there's always a power struggle, there's always something there. It's just kind of human nature, I find. Personally, I just don't care to deal with a lot of that stuff. So after years and years and years of Call of Duty, it has been like freaking 10 years. It's crazy to think that it's been like 10 years since COD 4 originally came out, and just I've been doing, that's been a steady thing. That WWE, of course, you've seen, if you checked out the gaming videos and all that stuff, you've seen it. The James Lewis series and everything, and James Lewis also bringing that into the spotlight, which was really weird because that had been always like a created character, like persona. Like everybody has like their stage name in wrestling, and that's where that pretty much came from. Funny enough, it was actually a UFC game. It was UFC Undisputed in 2010. So damn, James Lewis has been around for 10 years also. Where I came up with the name James Lewis just because you couldn't go by Wolf or anything like that, or like a Warwolf. You can't put that into that game. You have to have a first and last name. So I was like, you know what, James Lewis sounds pretty cool. Plus, if you follow my Twitter, you know my real first name is Harley, named after the bike, and Harley is not in any games. It's always Charlie or something like that. So yeah, I went with James Lewis. I started that like whole gimmick, and it was fun. It's been fun. It still is. James Lewis is still around. He is currently in the middle of doing a MLB playthrough of the show 2019, and also you can catch him on Monster Hunter, where the name stuck and I can't change it because I was actually going to switch that name over to Warwolf, but that's and talking about Monster Hunter, there is also going to be a video of like not top 5, but like the 5 most memorable games and series of the last decade. That's going to be coming up very soon also. Yeah, this whole thing of just of making videos and streaming and moving away from music going forward from 2010, this last decade, has been me making some music, but mostly getting into gaming a lot more. Just taking that, going from, music was always going to be the career path. Ever since I was little, that was what I focused on. That's what I got really good in. I just figured that I just kind of figured out that the record labels and this and that stuff. So making enough money to sustain yourself is a very new thing in the music industry. It's people are acting like it's been around forever. No, it's very new, and it's been the last roughly maybe 5 years, if that's 4 or 5, that you've actually been able to sustain a career in music without any record label help or anything. There's been a bunch of just absolutely awesome artists that have come out that have done that. There's also been some like YouTube artists that have come out and they go directly for the record contract and everything. So, more power to them if that's the way that they make their career, skyrocket. Okay. But I, after seeing a lot of and hearing a lot of the behind the scenes on the record labels and the contracts and this and that stuff, I started to be like, I don't know if I would actually want to go that route. And at the time, like I said, it was not really sustainable to do anything on YouTube. I tried, and there was no way of doing it because copyright stuff and everything. And it's still, it's still rough if you're trying to do cover music and stuff and make any, cash flow back. It's not going to happen. Luckily, we have Patreon and PayPal and this and that stuff that we can do. We can self-fund everything. It's not that you're getting paid for the music side of things. You're getting paid for the entertainment side of things, basically, which is awesome. So that's something that I kind of want to venture into going forward. Into this next decade. It's really weird to say. It's really weird to think that we're in the 2020s now. The 2010s are done. So what else? The gaming thing. I just went full headfirst into it after I realized that the music thing was going to be uh, kind of impossible without going down the route I didn't want to go with that. So then I started transitioning into that's when the channels the Warwolf channel actually began, was at that time of which is I want to say 2014 roughly. I started it up. Yeah, I think it was mid 2014. I started up the Warwolf channel, and just started just pumping out videos. I was like, you know what? If the quality is not 1080 60 FPS, which was the best quality at the time. 4K wasn't really a thing at that time. I don't think there was any 4K capture cards at that time when I started. So I grabbed the cheapest little capture device, and because the laptop that I had at the time couldn't support even 720/30. It could barely support that. So that was what I grabbed, was a little $5 capture card off from Amazon, hooked it all up, and started running with it. And it was just like, I'm just going to make quantity over quality, which whichever way you do, you can overproduce the hell out of a video, but if nobody's watching it, it's like nobody's watching it. So just put out a good amount of videos. And what I found that worked at the highest success, which is probably what I'm gonna start doing again, is you gotta work. I mean, you gotta work at it. You gotta put a lot of time and effort into it. But if you put out a good quantity, so a whole bunch of videos, then you start circulating into the search system. You start getting into the related searches and everything, because there's more videos for the system to pick up on and throw at people. You never know when the video is going to go viral. You never know when something's going to be successful. The thing that you work the most on might not be as successful as something that you just kind of did in fun. That you might not have 10 hours put into of production time. Which is a big lesson that I learned in the 2010s was, don't overdo it. You get into the burnout territory when you're at that point. So, anyways, so going forward, yeah, or actually, I not going forward just yet. My bad. But yeah, that's the Twitch streaming thing started up. Also, I jumped away from videos just because YouTube is still in a very bad spot, and it's funny that I'm making a new YouTube channel, which I'll get to in a little bit, but just to see the stuff that has been happening on YouTube and the people that are getting away with stuff on YouTube. To me, I don't care for YouTube personally as like, I love YouTube, the red and white, it's awesome. No. YouTube to me now is just a storage bin. I have said this before, plenty of times in streams and also other streamers' chats and everything that are big YouTubers. I've said it before. Like, YouTube is just a storage bin. It's gone back to that, where the business is not good for the content creator. It's good for the businesses, sure, but you kind of get screwed on the business side yourself as a content creator. So anything I put up on YouTube, I don't really care as long as it's viewable. I don't care if it gets demonetized or anything like that. That's where I'm gonna try and start getting into my business savviness of. Probably going to try and start doing some, kind of self-funding or not self-funding, but crowdfunding of all the stuff that I'm doing. So if there's a piece of equipment that I could get, maybe there might be a Patreon starting up sometime. And I've said this before, and I just really don't like to actually... I don't know. I don't like I feel like something will go wrong if I start up something like a Patreon or something like that. And also, I just been feeling like nobody's going to give a shit. So, that's been creating a lot of burnouts too, which over the last 10 years now. it's just like, you have your burnout phases. Sometimes you're riding high, you're making the most content you ever made, and then other times it's just like, why am I even doing this? Why do I even bother? I'm putting so much time and effort into this, and the video or the live stream barely gets 3 people's attention. Who cares? So that's something that I've been, just like anybody else, I've been fighting it. I've been struggling with it and everything. It's just you walk away for a couple days and it's like, man, I want to make something else. I want to make something really cool. I want to put that music with that video to make something just pop and give you that feeling of like, this is wow, that. So that's one of the big reasons why I actually like the Twitch streaming a lot more than doing any YouTube videos, in all honesty. Which is the reason why I don't. I've been it's kind of laziness, but it's also kind of just the fact of like trying to keep up with streaming and doing YouTube videos is the hardest thing that you can do. Finding time enough to do it, so like getting a good amount of sleep, getting everything done IRL that you need to get done, and then coming through and spending another like 2 to 4 hours trying to make a video, and then another 2 to 4 hours live streaming on top of trying to keep up with I have a bad habit of liking to jump into a certain live stream late at nights, and that live stream goes on for like 8 hours. So roughly around 11 o'clock at night my time, I usually stop everything that I'm doing and jump into a chat of a live stream and just hang out, because that's like the only time where I got other people around. I don't know. It's a good hangout spot, pretty much. It's a good way to decompress and everything. So the Let's Talk videos, that's something that I started and it got big throughout the 2010s. Definitely going to be keep on doing those. I really want to get more of them put out at a quicker pace, a more quantity of them at a quicker pace. I'm going to get a lot more of those Let's Talks done. I have a lot of ideas for them. There's some stuff that I really want to be saying out there. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's definitely some strong ideas I have for some Let's Talks, and I can tell you right now, I promise that none of them will be political, none of them will be religious. It will all be in pretty much like the business side of gaming, and how games get released, the game mechanics, all the stuff that and you love about Let's Talk will still be there. On the topic of Let's Talk, I've been trying to. It's just hard because my buddy that does the co-streaming and also the co-Let's Talks every once in a blue moon, he doesn't have quite the setup for it. So we're still trying to figure out like maybe podcast style doing all that. So hopefully more co-Let's Talks. We'll see how that goes. But I guess now I can talk about a little bit of the future. I know this is a reflection video, but everything that you do in your past reflects to the future. All the lessons that you learn go into what you do next. And in the future of video production and live streams, I'm going to try and just like stay more consistent. And consistency has always been, that's a word, has always been, I can't pronounce the word, but it's a word, consistency. There we go. I'm also going to learn how to talk straight on camera. But consistency of making a good quality, but also quantity of content. Rap godding over here. So a lot of videos, but decent quality at least. And I have the technology for it. I just need to get in gear and get on a set schedule, kind of, and make sure that I stay on that set schedule. Not let my sleep schedule get all over the place. That's been basically the hard part of the last like couple of years now, is that I will be going steady, and then all of a sudden my sleep schedule goes whoo, and my body does not want to go to sleep at the right time, and then I'm up, and then I should be working while I'm sleeping, and it's like had a major thing in 2017. That was one of the hardest years I ever went through. As you know, I stopped the channel I stopped doing anything. I stopped live streaming. I stopped making videos and everything. Death in the family happened, and it was a major, just the whole dynamic of my household changed, and it was just like a lot. It was one of those big life moments that you never forget. You can never really prepare for it, and then when it happens, you're never gonna forget it. It's one of those. So yeah, that happened, and then that's partly the reason why my sleep is all over the place. Like my body got used to being up at weird times and everything, and so it's been like 2 years of trying to get that back on track again, I guess. And then me being really lazy about it and being like, screw it, I'm just gonna stay up. I'm gonna stay up for like 2 days straight. And I think I'm just getting a little bit older where I can't do that anymore. So yeah. On top of that too, 2010 to 2020 has been a full 10 years of me just focusing so much on work and making channels and making videos and live streaming and everything. I've not really taken too much time for myself outside of that, of just having any type of relationship or anything else. And yeah, that kind of gets to you after a while. It's just human nature. It hits you, and it's like one of those things of like, man, I would like to have something going on, but I spend so much time doing all this stuff. And the big time celebrities that have like companies looking after them and everything, or after them to make stuff and keep, like musicians that are on tour all the time and everything else, they go through it too. It's like it's something really weird to talk about, because I've always been the lone wolf. It's been like I've always been that way, but as you start to get a little bit older, you're like, yeah, you start to get a little bit of the loneliness start creeping in and everything. It's just something. If I don't know, I was, in all honesty, because of that, this year I was gonna stop. I was gonna take, possibly, like, just be like, I'm retiring from like content creation, and just take some time and try and figure that side of everything out. And instead, I launched a YouTube channel at midnight of New Year. So yeah, it's totally on me, and that's something that I don't know. Maybe, who knows? Middle of this year, end of this year, maybe I will take a break. Maybe I will just be like, okay, I gotta take like 3 to 4 months off and just figure some stuff out. And I don't know. Maybe we'll see. That's a really big one up in the air. Anyways, so talking about a new YouTube channel. Yes. As soon as the clock struck midnight for 2020, the new year, the new channel went live. I just need to put the tags on the video so you can actually find them in search bars. But there is a channel called Music Power. Music /Power. I find the power of music is so damn incredible. It's so strong. It brings everybody together, whether people can speak the language that the words and lyrics of a song is in. Everybody is singing the words, and it's just, music is the actual magic of the world that I find. It's the one thing that, it's the language that brings everyone together. No matter nobody cares about politics, nobody cares about religion, nobody cares about anything but just being in the moment of the beat and the rhythm and the feel of the song. And so Music Power really encapsulates that whole thing. And so a brief little explanation of that, which I'll probably have a video on the channel itself explaining it. So as I said, back in 2008 until roughly about 2010, I originally had, I think it was called James Lewis, pretty sure it was called that, or The King or something like that. It was a high school music YouTube channel making a bunch of rap and hip hop remixes. We were all a bunch of hip hop heads back then. So it's, I haven't done anything music wise for like the last 10 years. Because 2012 was when I shut that channel down, but I hadn't made any music in those 2 years. So I was like, it's time. It's time to pull a plug on it. So now 10 years later, just launched a brand new music channel. Got 4 videos up on there. I got another. That's not even half of the like album, the cover album. That's going to be called Covered Up. That's not even half of the music that's going to be on that. So there's going to be 14 tracks. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 14 overall, and that's 4 of them. So yeah, I got about 10 more songs to record and make and everything, or music videos, I should say, to record and make and everything. I am going to try and get into a little bit of originals. So the music channel is going to be a little bit of everything. It's going to be guitar covers, hopefully some original music, video game covers, like video game soundtrack covers. I would love to get into doing a little bit of that, because there is like the Halo theme is amazing. Let's see here. Grand Theft San Andreas comes to mind. Oh man, what? There's so many crazy soundtracks. The Doom theme from the latest Doom games and everything. Just all kinds of, like Wolfenstein, Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat. I'd love to do like a cover version. Do my own take on all that stuff. Hip hop rap remixes. I have not done any hip hop or rap music in a long time, and I know, skinny white boy, what the hell you got? So we'll see. I'm in a very different mind space than what I was back then. So the hip hop and rap stuff might turn into a little more of a club and synth inspired music, which is more in nowadays than just the plain old rap and hip hop. Because I'm a 90s kid, so 90s hip hop rap music is like where my headspace always goes to. So hearing some, in all honesty, Billie Eilish, and seeing her and her brother making music is that's a pretty big inspiration right there of the faster paced beats, a lot of melody driven, faster pace, doing a bit of singing, maybe doing a little bit more hip hop, style, rap flow over top of it or something. I don't know. We'll see what they get into. We'll see what where the inspiration. You don't really know what you're going to make until you make it. That's the thing. And then another big one, like I'm not really looking to collab. My collab stuff, collaborating with people, I only collaborate with people that either, one, inspire, or two, that I know personally, that I've been talking for a long time with, doing something with, or doing something with the person. So collaborations, I just it'll be very hard for me to do a collaboration. I like to have a lot of hands-on with the project, and I like to have a lot of input in the project. I'm sorry, I'm hard-headed like that. I know when something's good, I know when something's bad, and I don't like to put out bad stuff. Sorry. So that, and then also the music channel is just for fun. It's just for fun. If the quality is not the best on it, I'm still learning on how to music produce. I haven't done it in 10 years, so I'm a little bit rusty, which these first 4 videos on the channel, you can absolutely hear it in there. There's buzzing on the guitar and this and that stuff, but I think it kind of adds like an old school vibe to it and everything. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. Right now, 2010. That was a lot. That's 35 minutes of just reflecting on the last 10 years. So many videos that I just put a lot of time and hard work into, and there was a lot of people that came through and was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. I hope you keep doing a lot more. And then of course, trying to fight the laziness of like, oh, God, I don't want to do anything today. And then once you get working, it's that's a big, the cure for laziness is just start it. Because once you make something, it kills any amount of laziness or just like burnout that you have, because as soon as you see it, you're inspired to make something extra. You might be tired afterwards, and you might need to wait until the next day or two, but definitely, this is more or less me telling myself this: keep doing it. Keep going. It's actually pretty cool once you get everything done. And then on top of that, just like I said, just making all the videos on YouTube and then having the VODs on YouTube as a storage bin. But everything that's happened on Twitch too. There's been a lot of really crazy and awesome moments that have been happening on Twitch. It's one of those things, when you're one of the greatest things about video games is, and I kind of hate the word or the term video game, because it's such a retro term. I feel like they're not games anymore. They're experience. Like, some of them are definitely games. Something like a Crash Bandicoot or something like that is definitely a game. But some of these, they're experiences. They are absolutely experiences. Like a Days Gone, you're living in that world. You're spending so much time and you're building up everything, and everybody's coming together to work on stuff together. And Grand Theft Auto Online, you're living in that world. There's role play, happening where people are actually living in the world. They're meeting up with people. They're doing all kinds of crazy stuff in it and everything. That's not a game. That's like virtual reality, in a sense. You just don't have a headset on. You're plugged into the Matrix. Ooh. So I don't know. That's one of those. It's one of those weird things. But yeah, I've had the music, the urge, the itch, whatever you want to call it, for a few years now, and 2020 is going to be that year where finally I got 4 videos up on the channel. I got a full on album that I got planned of a bunch of different cover songs and everything. Some songs are absolutely cover songs. Other songs are me just adding a guitar part or something to it. So that's just, like I said, I'm just doing it for fun. I really don't care if people like it so much or not. I just want to make something that I think is cool, which is something also that I'm kind of starting to want to do with my live stream, is make something that is just, towards future me. Hopefully you have started doing stuff, stop being so damn professional. Just start hanging out and just playing games and making music and doing the whole thing like that. Start hanging out with it. Don't be so damn professional. That's something I've always struggled with, and who knows, maybe 5 years from now or something. Hopefully I'll be, if I'm not retired from doing all this, then then hopefully I'll be more laid back and just making stuff. So anyways, I think that's long enough. That's almost 40 minutes. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, once again, I will see ya next time.